Hello everyone, welcome to EduFlux. I am Sanmitra Bhaumik and today we are going to present you the solution of the second problem of Learning with Problem series. Little bit about myself. I have done my BE in Electrical Engineering from Jadavpur University, Kolkata. I had been selected in Texas Instruments sponsored MS in IIT Madras 2019 and I have qualified for 2018 and 2019 ESC prelims. And currently I am a junior executive at Airports Authority of India. Now, let us quickly move to the problem. What does the problem demands? Just like the last problem, here also we have been given a voltage source that is having that is sine of omega t. And now, here what we have is we have a switch here that is closed at t is equal to t naught. And there is a R, and instead of an L we have C, and the value of the capacitor is 1 microfarad. We have to find out the earliest value of t naught, that means the switching time, for which we will get a transient free response. Now see one thing, when we close this at t is equal to t naught, we will get two components. One is the DC component and other is the AC component. One is the transient and another is the steady state. Now this is the circuit, and just I want to say something, that is, this time t is equal to, let's assume that this is a conductor, then this phi, this sine omega t plus phi will come into significance. Then we understand its significance. Suppose we have a sine wave, say Vt, this is the source. We want to switch it at a time, say t is equal to pi by omega. We want to switch it at t is equal to pi by omega. Then what is happening here? Then it will start at, say, pi by 2 omega. So pi by 2. So it will start at this prime, pi by 2. So it will go like this. So that we can see, if we close it now, so it is time t is equal to 0. So that we can analyze from time t is equal to 0, so that we can shift this axis to this point. Therefore we are taking here as phi. In our question it is given only sine omega t, but we are adding this phi so that we can incorporate the effect of this switching time. That is, we are actually shifting it in the right hand side in the time axis, but to incorporate that, to write our equations freely, we are just writing sine omega t plus phi. Okay. Now we are going to find the voltage across the capacitor. Let's see how to find it. We'll apply KVL. So this is Vt. Let me write it as Vt. This is Vt. That is our source, or we can also call it as the forcing function. This is Vt, and a current I is flowing. Vt is equal to IR plus, say, this Vc. So I can write Vt, this is the forcing function, that is equal to Vr plus Vc. These are also the functions of time. I don't have space here, I will be writing it in the next slide. So what is Vc? Vc I can write Q by C, and Vr I can write IR. Simple. Now I have written that in the next slide. See here, that is the Vt is equal to Ri plus Q by C. Now see this I can write I as, I is equal to dq by dt. That is rate of flow of charge, that is dq by dt. See, dq by dt plus into R plus Q by C is equal to Vt. This is a differential equation. And this differential equation has a function of time as a forcing function. Exactly what we have learned in the differential equation. So this will have two components. The solution of Vc, what we will get Vc, that will have two components. I will be telling you how to get Vc from Q. I will be telling you that. The Vc will have two components. One is the transient and other is the steady state. Transient corresponds to the complementary function and steady state corresponds to the particular integral. This is all covered in the theory of transient analysis. Now Vt is equal to 0 for complementary function. Just now how we find the complementary function, we equate the forcing function to 0. So we get 0 is equal to Ri plus Q by C. Now 0 is equal to I is, I have told you, dq by dt, r into dq by dt plus q by c. After rearranging, we get dq by q is equal to minus 1 by rc into dt. This is simple maths. Now integrating, we get ln q minus ln k is equal to minus t by rc. See, this is indefinite integration. So here also we'll get some constant, here also some constant. I have added or subtracted all the constants into the right hand side. I have made it purposefully minus ln k. See, c is also constant, ln k is also constant. So I have manipulated the constant deliberately. See, ln q by k is equal to e to the power minus t by rc. So q will be k into e to the power minus t by rc. Here I have jumped certain steps which are very simple. See, q is equal to c into vc. Q is equal to C into V. So charge in the capacitor, that will be C into Vc. Vc is the instantaneous voltage across the capacitor. And Q is the instantaneous charge on the capacitor. Is equal to K into e to the power T by RC. See, K by C, C is constant. C is constant K, so K by C is K dash. K by C is K dash. So I have got Vc is equal to K dash into e to the power minus RC. So I can say that this is my Vc of t. I've got my steady state response. Sorry, my transient response I've got. Now, this is my steady state value. Now, how to find the steady state value? You have already learnt in AC analysis that I'm considering the maximum value. See, this is the VM and not the RMS. I'm telling you this is the maximum value. I'm mentioning it here. So I will be getting the Vc max here, that is the maximum capacitor voltage. This is R and this is 1 by j omega c. This is very simple, very trivial. Now we will be applying voltage divider law. So what will be voltage divider law? Voltage divider law will state that 1 by j xc divided by R plus 1 by j xc. This is the ratio into Vc max. Correction, into Vm, into this one. Then we will get our Vc max. This is the Vc max. So Vc max is equal to Vm into 1 by j omega c plus R by 1 by j omega c, R plus 1 by j omega c. So Vc max is equal to Vm by 1 plus j omega rc. So omega c will come here, it will become 1 j omega rc plus 1. So Vc max is equal to Vm by root over of 1 plus omega square r square c square. Say I am taking the magnitude into angle, polar form, r theta form. A magnitude that is Vm by root over of 1 plus omega square r square c square. For this phase will be tan inverse of omega r c, it will go up. So angle of minus tan inverse of omega r c. So steady state value of the voltage of capacitor, steady state value of capacitor voltage as a function of time will be the magnitude Vm by root over of 1 plus omega square r square c square. See, this was the maximum, so it will be equal to the amplitude. We don't need to multiply root 2 here. Okay, now sine, it was sine omega t plus phi, so this phase will be added minus tan inverse of omega rc. So this is our steady state value of capacitor voltage as a function of time. Now let's write the complete solution. Vct is equal to, this is the transient one, k dash e to the power minus t by rc plus Vm root over of 1 plus omega square r square c square sine of omega t plus phi minus tan inverse of omega rc. This part is the transient response and this part is the steady state response. But see, when t is equal to 0, the capacitor is shorted. When t is equal to 0, what is the property of the capacitor? See, there is no charge, so it will not be able to oppose the current. So it will be, capacitor will be shorted. So Vc is equal to 0. So I am equating Vc is equal to 0. So this will be k dash. See, t is equal to 0. So e to the power minus 0, that is 1. So k dash plus Vm by root over of 1 plus omega square r square c square sine of, see, t is equal to 0, so omega t, that will be 0. Sine of phi minus tan inverse of omega rc. So k dash will be minus Vm by root over of 1 plus omega rc whole square inside and sine of omega minus tan inverse of omega rc. So that is the value of k dash. So we have got k dash. Now for transient free response, k dash is equal to 0. Why I am saying this? Understand. See, our Vc, that is the capacitor voltage, that is composed of two components. This is our transient part or the DC part, or this is the AC part. I can, if I say this part is 0, if this part is 0, then I can assume, then I can say that it will only remain with this much. It will only remain with this much. Now, so I can equate k is equal to 0. See what is the value of k? Minus Vm by root over 1 plus omega RC whole square into sine phi minus tan inverse of omega RC. So if I equate it to 0, see Vm is not equal to 0. Therefore this part will be 0. So omega minus tan inverse of phi minus tan inverse of omega RC will be equal to 0. Simple. So phi is equal to tan inverse of omega RC. Now phi is the phase angle. So I told you earlier in the very first slide that this phi will represent the delay. Suppose I'm telling you here, this phi, suppose I am drawing a sine wave like this. Now we want to add some phase difference. So this part will be our, phi. What will be our phi? So we want to see, this can mean two things. We add phi in our solution, that is sine omega t plus phi. So omega t is a minus phi. Here I am showing the minus case. Or what we can do is that we can, what we can do here is that we can switch the circuit at t is equal to t naught. That we can do. So exactly that is what we have done here. This phi represents the switching time. So phi I can represent it as omega into t naught. But t naught is the switching time. So omega into t naught, that is tan inverse of omega RC. So t naught is 1 by omega into tan inverse of omega RC. Now let's substitute the values. What is omega? Omega is 2 pi into f. So 2 pi into 50, that is 50 hertz. Tan inverse of omega RC, omega we already know. What was R and what was C? C, as far as I remember, it was 1 millifarad. So 10 to the power minus 3 farad. And R, let me check once. R was 5 ohm and C was 1 microfarad, not millifarad, microfarad. So R was 1 microfarad, so it will be minus 6 and it is 5 ohm. So if we calculate it, we will get 0.256 milliseconds. So that is the answer. So thank you. And if you like our video, then please subscribe to our channel and please share this video with your friends.